Welcome to Season 1 of our brand new podcast, Hey Emma, highlighting the issues of being a teenager.
We'll focus on the similarities and differences in the way we think about a variety of situations in our lives.
Join us on this journey as hopefully it'll be interesting, humorous, and eye-opening to see how a teenage girl thinks today and how her dad supports, opposes, and sometimes changes his mind.
Here I am with my daughter, Emma, and I just was curious, Emma, what were your thoughts about high school before you started high school? Like this summer, what were you thinking about?
Well, I was very nervous for high school. I thought it was going to be very, very scary, especially since I went into middle school thinking it was scary, and I came out thinking it was, well, scary. And so I was going into high school like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do it. This is like next level, and I can't do this. But then once I actually got there, it was like this amazing experience. I didn't think that I'd enjoy it so much.
So you're telling me you really find high school to be quite an amazing experience? Huh?
Yes, except for the fact that you have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. I really enjoy it.
Oh, God, that would be such a drag. I couldn't stand that myself. Oh, wait, I do get up at 5:30 with you, don't I?
Well.
But what were some of the things that your biggest fears that you had going in before you started high school?
Well, before I started high school, I think my fears were not having the same classes as my friends, because I just hadn't seen them that much during middle school except for lunchtime. So just not being able to see them during high school would be kind of like hurtful because, there's so many more classes now and you gotta learn how to make new friends and stuff. But then once school started, my biggest fear was trying to remember everything. I think to myself over and over, do I have everything that I need? It's just paranoid.
Is that your natural paranoia, or is this something all students have, you think?
Probably all students have, but I don't know. I just, even still, I'm like, am I going to the right class? Do I have all my stuff with me? It's just...
Now, the way your schedule was, from talking to you, you only go to your locker like 3 times a day?
Yeah, some people don't go to their locker at all. Some people haven't even opened their lockers yet from the beginning of the school year.
So they open their locker and like dust bunnies come out?
Yeah. I know my friend Sam, she hasn't used her locker at all. She didn't even know her combination.
That's pretty bad.
Because she doesn't use it, so...
So you just carry everything on your back, in your backpack?
No, because I have the lucky opportunity to go to my locker. But yeah, everyone else carries everything.
Because you have like 2 or 3 classes in the same hall as your locker, right?
Yeah, so it's really easy to just go there and get my stuff.
But when you get into next year, what are the chances that you're going to have classes near your locker?
Well, seeing as how my locker won't be in the lower level and I won't have as many classes in the lower level, then I think it'll be a better chance because my locker will probably be in C Hall, which is the most common hall. So I think it'll go fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you were to give advice to an incoming freshman about... the nerves and the things that you experienced before you got into high school, now that you've been through it, what advice would you give an incoming freshman?
Just, it's not as bad as you think it is. Definitely if as many people as you know in middle school, you're going to want to stick with them in high school because with all the classes changing, you don't know who you're going to get in your classes, so... If as long as you know people, then you can have those connections with them, and you make so many new friends. And so just relax, because you'll have someone with you the whole way.
Now you've found it difficult to make friends in the past.
In middle school, yeah.
In middle school, so how did you get over that in high school?
Because with the connections that I had made in middle school, it made it easier to make connections in high school. I have made new friends in high school, and I've also made better relationships with friends from middle school. And it just helps having that connection of middle school to carry you on through high school.
So the middle school connections helped to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Because a lot of your friends from middle school ended up they went to a different high school.
No.
Some of your closest friends. Didn't they? Or no?
No.
No? Oh, well, that's good.
No.
Got that wrong.
Well, I mean, there was one time when I had that struggle when one of my best friends and the one that was keeping our whole friend group was like the glue of our friend group, and then she moved away. That was really hard for us. When the next year after that, and it kind of got rough when our friend group started falling apart. So that was really really hard. So, but then with one of my other friends' connections, we built that friend group back up again. So it was really hard because
I can imagine,
just the glue of our friendship fell apart, and we were starting off from nothing again.
It's hard when you kind of rely on one person to be the glue that holds everything together.
Yeah.
So you just make sure that you don't have core friends who are the glue. You know, you want to make sure that friends that you can have maybe multiple groups of friends.
Yeah, and I've definitely learned that this year because, like, I have this friend group that I eat lunch with, and I am able to talk to each one individually. So then if I have classes with just one of them, then I am able to talk to that person individually instead of having to rely on the whole group to talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm able to talk to that one person better than, I would have done before. So
that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Good thinking. So now that you've been you just started your second semester now of high school as a freshman.
Yes.
And I know, were very, very anxious about many of the classes you were taking and the difficulty and the schedules and things like that. So talk about how you transitioned into that, how you got past these challenging classes and managed your schedule.
Well, I think a lot of it relies on the teachers that you have, because I was lucky to have really good teachers this year. And the fact that my schedule did not change from first semester to second semester, that kind of helped too.
Which is really unusual from what I understand.
Yeah, it's not likely. Even like within the first week of the semester, your schedule can change. It just depends. But so not having my schedule changed at all, that was very helpful for me. So I didn't have to make as many transitions. But it was really scary having to move from middle school, where you only had a few classes and a few teachers, to having a different teacher each period, and having to go across the school to find these teachers, and it was really hard. But once I got my schedule down, I just had to practice a couple times, and getting to go on that orientation day, that was really helpful. But yeah, especially the teachers, the transition made it easy because the teachers were so generous about thinking, this is your first year of high school, it's going to be hard, and the slow transition into the work and stuff. But so it wasn't hard from the beginning.
Yeah.
I did have homework every night, but you had to expect that from high school.
Yeah, well, and you've been pretty diligent about doing homework all through middle school too, so you had that habit already established.
Yeah.
So that certainly helped. You had a couple of, nervous experiences early on in high school. When I remember one where you went to your gym class and the gym teacher wasn't there and the lights were off and you weren't sure what to do, and there was a bunch of confusion. There was a couple of students, I guess, who were waiting for the gym class. Do you remember that?
Well, there is definitely some times. I've gotten used to it now, but there would be some times where I would go to the locker room and it would be completely locked, and so you'd have no idea what to do. And in the first semester, I was like, what am I supposed to do? It's the first period of the day, and I have gym class, and the locker room is locked. How am I supposed to get in there? And so I would just awkwardly walk around that area until a teacher came along. But I've gotten used to that. And, the teachers are all there in the morning, so it's not like
it's not like you're alone wandering the building. Where is everybody?
Yeah, and all my friends come early too, so I mean, I have support if I'm just wandering around. So
yeah, someone to wander with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's good. So going into now your second semester and looking toward the end of this school year, what kind of things are you looking forward to accomplishing during this semester?
I think, well, I hope that I'm able to maintain all of my friend groups. It's, since my schedule has changed the second semester,
your schedule didn't change. Their schedules changed.
Yeah, their schedules changed. So I have all different friends to adapt to and stuff. But I just hope I am able to maintain those friendships with everyone so that, sophomore year would be easy too.
And ideally make some new ones too.
Yeah. But I mean, just, finishing off the year strong and make sure that I'm confident with everything that I do because, well, that's good for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, kind of a question that's in the back of my mind that's just happened in the last couple of days is you really flip-flopped on driver's ed for this summer, and I'm curious what was going through your mind that you wanted to do it, and then all of a sudden you didn't want to do it, and we recycled the paperwork, and then all of a sudden you wanted to do it again. So kind of walk me through your thoughts there.
Well, I mean, the first time I was like, I kind of wanted to do it because I was the right age, and I was thinking, this would be really cool to get it out of the way. And, well, I was also thinking, which is what I had thought was going to happen, was I only had to take the class and not do the driving portion.
Oh.
But once I found out I had to do the driving portion, plus pay this $100 fee, plus I had to go in on certain days to do meetings, and plus
at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So that kind of brought my stress level up, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have so much stress this summer. And so, of course, I did not want to do it. But then kind of what changed my mind was, well, I figured I was overreacting, one. And two, I found tools and I found ways to prepare myself earlier, like ahead of time, so that I wasn't as rushed into doing the driver's ed, so that I could kind of prepare myself slowly up until that point.
Okay.
Because, I found the rules of the road book so that I could work on that ahead of time, and just having that ease in my head and thinking, oh, well, it's not actually that bad. I mean, so many other people are going to be doing it, so.
Definitely. I mean, and a large majority of high school kids go through it, so you're certainly not alone in that. I remember when I was in high school, I couldn't wait to drive, but then I grew up in an age where I grew up watching the Dukes of Hazzard, so I knew that driving was going to be a lot of fun, and I was going to be doing stupid things with my car, and I did. I mean, we played bumper tag, we did a variety of very, very foolish things. I learned how to do 180s, donuts, all of that kind of stuff that you should never do with cars. And I shouldn't be telling you this because, I don't want you driving my car doing those things. But I had looked forward to driving as freedom, because I could just pick up and go whenever I wanted to go, according, with assuming that my parents said it was okay. But if I wanted to run down to the store, I could. If I wanted to go to that school and meet up with friends, I could do that. If I wanted to go to something after school, movies or whatnot, then we could do that. It just gave me freedom and just the fun of being able to do power slides around the corner. But those are all things that I think you'll probably miss. One, because most cars are front-wheel drive and you can't do power slides. But two... I just don't think you have that influence. I think you probably see traffic as, or you see driving as mind-numbing, sitting in Chicago traffic, which is, painful as it is. What are your thoughts?
Well, I see it as a scary thing, having to have all this new things to learn, and I feel like I'm going to mess up somehow, and there's just that thought in my head that I'm not gonna remember all the rules, or I'm just gonna do it wrong or something like that. But I mean, with the freedom also comes all these new responsibilities, having to, there's a limit to where you can go, and there's all this new